Hello and welcome to the Brother Slim. This is Cam, resuming Kingdom Death, People of the Stormlit Lantern. Yas. So we left off last time with a really cool fight against the Dung Beetle Knight. I was a little slow getting all the rules because I was trying to do it as correct as possible. It was a very unique one. Definitely did some things wrong, but that's okay. That was I think the most complex fight I have done to date. Alright, so I did skip ahead and do a few things out of order. One, I just went ahead and unlocked the Wet Resin Crafter to do some crafting later. And then I also did the only timeline story, which is my little kind of homebrewed Stormlight one as well. That was in the last video though. So let's jump right into the next step here, which is Spelunking of Death. And there we are. I gotta say, the art, just as always, I think I say it every time I see new art, it's just so good. It's so creepy and so cool. Spelunking of Death. And then it continues on with some arts to accompany this event here. Well, let's see what we do. The group investigates the monster's network of tunnels and are inspired by the rich vegetation. If your settlement does not already have it, gain the subterranean agriculture innovation. Nominate up to 4 victorious survivors from the last showdown to be spelunkers. One at a time, each spelunker rolls 1d10 on the table below. Well, I think we might do 2. Maybe let's do 2. Just gonna grab the innovation, though cheer. Let's see. Subterranean agriculture. Oh, this one's gonna be a new one, so it is gonna have some art on it. Let's see if we can grab that. And here we are, subterranean agriculture. Science. If Black Harvest is not on the timeline, underground so that's an endeavor. If Black Harvest is on the timeline, you may spend 1 preserved caustic dung to increase its rank by 1 to a maximum rank of 3. Limit once per settlement phase. Okay, yeah, this is where I built the resin crafter already there too. Cool. So I looked at this a little bit ahead of time just because it's a little more complex than some of the other building and events and such. Really cool concept though, so we'll get into it shortly here. I'll leave that just off to the side. And who do we want to nominate? I think Arluzidin, because he is our eternal pal. And who else do we want here? So we've got Pattern, who's kind of has historically been our support person. But might actually switch that up. Just looking at some of the abilities that he's got is pretty cool. So maybe we don't want to send him just in case. Risen we like as well. Lyn we also like too. What's Lyn got? Let's do 2. Let's do Lyn, who I hope we don't lose, and Arluzidin. Okay, 1 at a time, roll a d10 on the table below. Alright, let's do Lyn first. 9. Ooh, okay. Cool. So, beneath the Passage of Bones, you find a secret entrance and are compelled to attempt the Trial of Valor. Okay. 3. Okay, I thought that could have been bad. And I think it's this lava one here too. Fun. 3 to 7. You fail, but master your fears. Gain 1 courage. Alrighty, Roo, that we shall do. Okay, courage for Lyn. Alright, and Arluzidin. 7. Trial of Valor once again. 8. You fail but grow stronger. Gain +1 permanent strength. Okay. There we go. Arluzidin the 5th is up to 6 strength. And yeah, so that is done. Underground so. That'll be part of subterranean agriculture, but let's start the settlement phase in earnest. So we'll close out this for now. Here we go. I'll pull this out and already got the settlement event card set aside here. Let's see if we can get that where I can read it. And also it looks okay. Skull Eater. Randomly choose a returning survivor and give them +3 insanity. If there are no returning survivors, choose a survivor from the settlement to gain +3 insanity. The survivor consumes the skull of a deceased survivor. Okay, well, I guess we should roll first. So we have 4 people that returned. And we'll just do it how it's organized in the app here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, just at the top. So we have our Lucidin getting a 4, Lynn getting an 8, Pattern getting a 1, and Risen getting a 10. Nope, I should have said what highest or lowest. Let's do a 6+ highest, 5 and lower, it's lowest. Okay, lowest gets it. So 1 it is. And that is Pattern. So Pattern eats someone's skull. Yummy. They awaken a hunger that cannot be stopped and roll on the table below. They gain the following impairment. Marrow Hunger. When Murderer or Skull Eater settlement events are drawn, this survivor is nominated. Delicious skulls. Okay, well, let's add this. Okay, let's see if we can get another high roll here. 4. Okay, the Skull Eater's activities go unnoticed. They gain +1 permanent strength and +1 courage. Add the murder settlement event to the timeline next year. That we don't love. There we go. So murder is added. +1 permanent strength and courage. Let's do that. Okay, so up to 4 strength. And courage. They are closing in on Seed of Truth. Cool, cool. Is there anything else on that event? Does not look like it. Okay, put that over there. Grab our goodies. So I don't think we have any milestones, but we'll take a quick look here. So we're losing in, nothing for you. Lynn. I think you do get a proficiency there. Okay, Risen's beefing up with getting shield specialization. We love to see that. All right, so first things first, no milestones. We do have our things to innovate, and there's one in particular that I would like. So I'll do a shuffle here, and we'll be able to draw 4 of them. One, two, three, 4. Here we go. Oh, that is the one I was hoping for. Clan of Death. The enduring strength of your clan passes through generations. All newborn survivors gain +1 accuracy, +1 strength, and +1 evasion. I mean, I think that's just going to be the auto pick. Super stoked on that, but let's see. So Petal Spiral. Regardless of their hunt XP, survivors may select Sword for their weapon proficiency. Then you have Trace Petals, which is a way to gain proficiency levels, survival, and understanding. Storytelling. Survival limit +1. Gain understanding. All departing survivors gain insanity or white speaker. Cool. Pottery. Survival limit. Fermentation. You can make love juice or spend a herb and gain a basic hide. Oh, that's pretty neat. But yeah, it's absolutely going to be Clan of Death here. 110% that. Cool. So nothing to add from this because this is the end. Just going to add this in the app. Awesome. Okay, so Clan of Death has been achieved. There we go. Awesome, awesome. And to do that, that would have been a endeavor, so down to 7 endeavors, and then as well as some resources. We use the vermin for the hide. Monster bone. You don't want to use that wing. Okay, we'll use that instead. So we have more of them than we'll need right now. That being a perfect organ to innovate, but I should have done this ahead of time. But I think that's a fair trade considering we got a fantastic endeavor. We're definitely going to be making some survivors. I'll probably do that off screen just because I don't think it's necessarily that engaging, and we've made a bunch on screen before. But develop now, this is going to be the fun one. So first things first, as far as our innovations go, we do want to definitely do subterranean agriculture, but let's do some crafting stuff first. Okay, so we'll use 1 for leather making to turn all of our hide into leather, going down to 6. Okay, so we get 3 more leather. Going up to 7. And the wet resin crafter, we're going to make a few things. So we can't make calcified stuff. That's going to come later. But what we can definitely do is the errant badge, which is pretty sweet. I got it pulled up right there. So DBK, errant badge, item, jewelry, knight, unique. Add 1 armor to all hit locations. At the start of the showdown, draw 1 tactics card. Super cool. So let's go ahead and do that for sure. Let's see, how do we want to do this? There we go. Once again, not going to use the scarab one. That's okay. 1 bone. Let's do the cat one just for fun. There we go. So that has been made, and then we're also going to definitely make the sentry shoulder pads here. So item, bone, mineral, heavy. Add 1 armor to all hit locations, and ripple pattern. When you are attacked, roll 1d10 on a 10 plus, ignore a hit, which is super cool. That's definitely not really showing up on the... Okay, cool, so it will focus if I get close enough. Good to know for next time, so let's craft that for sure. Okay, then next up, we're gonna have to hope for some scrap here. We need another 1 or 2. and that's okay. We can make this work with, I think the weapon crafter has it. Scrap scavenge. So let's go ahead and do this. Getting a 6. Okay, good, good, good. I'm gonna do this, I think maybe just the one time for now. Basic, broken lantern, awesome, because then we can go back to crafting. Wet resin crafter and digging claw. Perfect, so that is what we want. There we are there with the stuff that we need to make it. The digging claw is also pretty cool. So any 2. We do want to hang on to some monster bones. We don't have a ton of other things though. Let's use one of these. So I want to keep some bones for something coming later. There we go. Cool. There we go. So digging claw. Let's focus. Awesome. So weapon, melee, Qatar, pickaxe, bone, mineral. 1 speed, 4 plus hits, 5 strength. During the mineral gathering story event, you may reroll 1 of your d10. So we've got a sickle, or a sickle? Yeah, sickle. And now we have the pickaxe, which I think will help out on our hunt phase, which would be really cool. I know Orluz has been pushing for that for a while. So woo! And there we go. Cool, cool, cool. And with that completed, I think we might be done crafting just for the moment, and we're going to work on some other things here too. And first things first is subterranean agriculture. So Black Harvest is not on the timeline. We're going to spend an endeavor to underground. So, sorry, that's kind of all over the place, not really on the camera there. So let's do underground. So spending an endeavor to do so, which brings us down to 5. Go back into the Dung Beetle Knight storybook here. Underground, so page 15. Cool, 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 cool. So here we are with some more super cool art. I like the touch of having the art kind of carry on to the next page too. It's always, I used to work in publishing, I'm sure I've shared it at some point, but it's always a tricky thing when you have a piece of art right in the spine of a book. A little bit different when it's like a lie open booklet like this. But yeah, I'd love to see art carrying between 2 pages. It's just a cool, fun touch. So this looks to be underground. So it looks like big old farm outcrop outpost down beneath in the DBK tunnels. Really cool. Small thing, but I'm a big fan of that face just chilling up there. I'm assuming it's fallen down from the plain and stone faces. Cool. Alrighty, underground. So the settlement laboriously works underground. Prepare the farm. In addition, you may encase and bury gear. So I think there's 3 things that we want to bury. Just going to take a quick little look through this. So prepare the farm. Nominate 1 or more survivors to be farmers. A survivor cannot be a farmer if they have already endeavored elsewhere this settlement phase. All farmers toil underground, pulling nightmare weeds and fighting seed-eating insects. The farmers are exhausted by their task. They cannot depart or spend endeavors this settlement phase. Roll 1d10, adding the number of farmers to the results. So I think we're going to... So nominate 1 or more, so we don't necessarily have a limit. 15 plus. Okay, so on a 1 to 6, all farmers die nourishing the soil. Add Black Harvest 1 to the timeline 4 years from now, which would suck. 7 to 14, add Black Harvest 1 to the timeline 4 years from now. It's basically the same thing. So we want 15 plus then. So the farmers zealously clear the underground farm with aid from the settlement. Add Black Harvest to the timeline 3 years from now and gain 2 random vermin resources. All farmers and departing survivors this year gain the vermin obsession disorder. Okay. Well, I think we're probably going to go with that. Encase and bury gear. So I'm just going to take a quick look at this too. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad I kept bones for that. Cool, cool. So what we're going to do, let's take a look at our population. So we've got 28 population. We've got a lot of people. So we're going to do 14 of them, which are all currently just off-camera, no-name survivors. Actually, we can do some of our named ones too. So we got enough people, it's not really a big deal. So 14 means we shall roll a d10, getting a 9. So technically could have done less, but that is okay, not worth the risk. Meaning we can do the 15 plus of add Black Harvest to the timeline 3 years from now and gain 2 vermin resources. We shall do so. Story events, Black Harvest. And there we go. So it's going to be a Engineer 22. We are going to get some stuff though. So 2 random vermin resources. Let's do that first. I really like the vermin. I kind of wish there's more of them. I also haven't really engaged with them very much so far either. But yeah, they're cool. 1, 2. Let's see what they're gonna do. Oh my god. Haven't seen this one yet. So, Cyclops Fly. Vermin consumable. Consume, archive this, and roll a d10. The fly's eye explodes, releasing acids that melt your insides. You die. Gross. 4 to 5, slight citrus flavor, no effect. 6 plus, gain permanent accuracy +1, which is pretty cool. And then Crab Spider, we've seen before. Hide, vermin consumable, consume, archive this, and gain 3 survival. Very nice, very nice. I'll leave those up there and I'll add them to the app afterwards. All departing survivors this year gain the vermin obsession. So I'll have to do that once I figure out who's actually departing. And basically, I'm just going to be giving just a whole bunch of people. I guess I'm just going to do this right now just so I don't forget. And I'll probably edit this out because it's just going to be silence as I add vermin obsession to a whole bunch of people here. Okay, and sometime later, we are back with a whole bunch of farmers made. Ironically, because of the new endeavor, they're actually basically the best survivors we have for baselines, at least. And so trying to keep things thematic for now before I eventually give them all names, I figured being the farmer crew. In the world of Stormlight, Dark Eyes are kind of like the lower caste citizens, so I figured we'd call them Dark Eyes. Could have gone with Parshmen, which are kind of like slaves, but that felt a little too cruel. So Dark Eyes of a whole bunch we have. So eventually, if they end up not becoming farmers, we'll give them names. But I think we'll probably do some innovations to maybe make some babies and go for some saviors and make some new survivors that we're actually planning on using. One thing I completely forgot about, which I noticed when making these farmer people, is we actually have the means to give people partial specializations from their parents, which is super cool. So yeah, again, the farmers are currently the best survivors we have for baseline newbies, at least, which is sweet. I'm here for it. But yeah, so let us continue. So encase and bury gear. So basically, 2 of the 3 new things that we just got, we are going to encase and bury. Let's go ahead and read it. Nominate 1 or more survivors to be embalmers. A survivor cannot be an embalmer if they've already endeavored elsewhere this settlement phase. The embalmers carefully construct casings and bury gear deep in the mineral-rich soil. The embalmers are exhausted by their task. They cannot depart or spend endeavors this settlement phase. For each embalmer, select 1 gear with a mineral keyword and spend 1 preserved caustic dung strange resource. For each piece of gear selected, roll 1d10. How many caustic dung do we have? We might not be able to do all this, actually. Let us see. One moment. Because I think I just have 2. Let's see. Dung, Beetle Knight. I think this is under Strange. We have 2 preserved caustic dung. Okay, so this makes it a little bit trickier. So we could either do the shoulder pads and the thing that we just got being the dung beetle claws. Or we do... So basically we need to do 1 of those and then also the regeneration blade that we got, because that thing turns into a beast that I'm really excited to use. Okay, let's just take a look at those items really quick. wet resin crafter, and so just gonna filter it so it's owned. There we go. There we go. Close up. Come on, come on. Wet resin crafter. So we have the shoulder pads. So 1 armored at all locations, and ripple pattern when you're attacked, ignore 1d10. On a 10 plus, ignore 1 hit, which is pretty awesome. But then we also have the digging claw. So I kind of think we maybe go with this one, because we're not going to be mineral gathering the next time anyways. And our tank kit is pretty good for now. Oh, I really wish I had one more. That's too bad. I don't think there's any way to get another one right now. Yeah, so you gain more from fighting higher levels. Frankly speaking, I don't think it would have been impossible to take on a level 2. Okay, so which 2 do we do? Well, I think it makes sense to hold off on the claws because we're pretty stoked on them as is, and getting the big defense and the big attack of the other one feels like the way to go. So let's do that. Let's get back here. So what we're going to do is get rid of 2 caustic dungs, and then we need to roll 2d10 for the regeneration blade and the other thing here too. Okay, so we do have bones if we need be, but let's go ahead and do the regeneration blade first. Getting a 5, so we're good. Oh, I'm supposed to nominate someone first. Let's see who this would have been. Let's say it was Andrew Chaga, so they gain a understanding, and they cannot depart. And then all the farmers don't need to worry about, just because I know that they're not going to be able to go. And then who else do we want to go? Probably Amaram, because you were kind of useless right now. Extra dodge is pretty cool, though. Let's do Stormfather, actually. So you roll 1d10 on a 2, so we need to spend a bone resource to bury the gear. And that we shall do. So they still gain... Okay, no understanding, just get to bury the gear. And bury the gear. The gear is being expertly buried. Indicate this on the settlement storage and archive the gear. Gear may be recovered during the Black Harvest story event. So we know which 2 gears, so we're not going to worry about that for now. Cool. And so that is done. And in a few more lantern years, we'll be able to dig it up with Black Harvest, which is pretty cool. You just want to take a look at this. The Black Harvest is on the timeline. You may spend 1 preserved caustic dung to increase its rank by 1. Oh, interesting. So basically, I was hoping to be able to do that this turn, but definitely cannot. You need the caustic dung to level up the Black Harvest as well. So we'll get into this in a couple of turns. But at level 1, which is what we're at right now, it's the raw acanthus. And then if you spend caustic dung to level it up, then you can do level 2, which means you can craft specific gear that needs it. So there's some cool... It's quite the thing. Yeah, it's very neat. So we'll close up that for now and save that for later. But yeah, I think that's probably going to be it for this settlement phase. We crafted some gear. We spent an arduous amount of time making a whole bunch of farmers. And I think I'm just going to make a few more survivors and just going to do it off camera just because it kind of is what it is, you know? We've done it a whole bunch in the past, and it's not like a riveting, exciting thing. So I'll go do that. And then decision is for this Tuesday. I think this video is probably going to be posted Monday, so tomorrow. Who am I going to fight the King's Man level 2 with? I don't know if I want to use my most leveled up folks, because frankly speaking, I'm not excited for this fight. I don't think it's going to be fun. I'm gonna try and turn that attitude around before actually doing it. But I don't like the Kingsman, and it seems from the I'm trying not to spoil too much for myself, but I did look up a little bit of stuff online, and it sounds even worse. So we'll see. I don't know if I want to use my best folks, or I might send in some new survivors that are a little juiced up from the newborns having better stats and see how it goes. We'll see though. I got some time to decide, so we shall see. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to this survival, no, not survival, settlement phase. And hopefully see some folks tomorrow for the live stream against Monsieur Kingsman 2. Take care, and we'll see you then. Bye!